of American flag. So what I'm gonna do is just like, cause I drive around a lot and I have a long drive. I'm figuring like every day I could just put up some kind of a live stream while I'm driving. So so this one, so this is gonna kick it off. Like actually yesterday's kicked it off, but this is the one where I announced that I'm basically just gonna do this like every day, you know, to earn a little bit of income. Donate to the Patreon if you can, and you got the membership. Become a member, but I gotta earn your respect. So I gotta earn what I said I'm gonna do. So I understand why people is not all up in the memberships because I haven't been around lately. But I might as well try. And I know I've been telling y'all for the longest, yo, I'm gonna be more active, and then it doesn't really happen. But this time I promise. What the hell? Okay, so this time I promise to do what I said I'm gonna do. Okay, so um, the two things I want to talk about, like the two subjects I want to talk about, is first the SNAP benefits and the um, the food stamps going away in a month, and what's that going to be like? What I think that's going to be like, and then I want to talk about what's happening in Japan. Like Japan has become a destination that you probably are not going to be able to go to anymore because of the new prime minister who's a female. I think she's for Liberation Party, but I don't know what's going on. But what I know is that the visas are not going to come easily, and your long-term stay is just about is done, and it's because of some certain people. But let me talk about the SNAP benefits first. So now that you have the government shut down, you got these welfare queens and kings, but mostly queens, and mostly, at least the ones I see, is mostly black females going crazy on TikTok because they can't get any more food stamps. Now, let me tell you, I'm tired of paying for these welfare queens. Like, I pay taxes too. I'm tired of paying for illegal aliens, and I'm tired of paying for welfare queens that don't, you're grown. I don't care if you got like five, six, seven kids, that's your fault. Uh, of course, it's not only blacks. You got the Chinese who took advantage of it, who came over here and had a whole bunch of kids. Some Asians, they came over, had a whole bunch of kids, and they know that America has like this welfare system that just gives away freaking free money, right? And so you got these welfare queens demanding the U.S. government pay for their so that their kids can eat. And I'm just sick of it because I've been scammed several times. I just got scammed like a couple of weeks, no, a couple of days ago by some Romanians. What you call them, gypsies or Romans? I saw this lady on the side of the road with her two kids, and she got a sign up saying, I need food, I need diapers, and all that. And what I don't, she's like, oh, can you give me a gift card? And I was like, nah, I ain't giving you a gift card. I give you food. Okay, I'll buy food. So I went back, even though I had stuff to do, and I went back and I think I bought like $50, $60 worth of food for her and her kids, like rice and beans and all this other kind of stuff. Cause I ain't have time to do research and all that. So it's better like that a guilty man goes free than an innocent man be stuck in prison. That's what I believe. Okay, so I give her the food. Well, before I give her the food, it's like several bags of food. Okay, and then there's a guy behind me, and he stops behind me, and I'm like, go, go, go! Like I gotta stop here. And she's like, no, 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 he's here, and he's giving her a freaking gift card, like a Harris Teeter gift card. So she's getting paid and in the shade, and I'm like, yo, this could be a scam, right? But now that I'm in it, I can't just take the food and say, yo, that's just, for me, it's cruel. I'm not sure she's rich or not or whatever, but she's one of these kind of welfare queens, and she's a gypsy. That means they white. It's not only the black welfare queens. There's a lot of these like gypsies and Romans around here. I did some research, and that's basically what they are. Gypsies and Romans. They place these women with their children with signs, and then they tug on your heartstrings, and then you end up paying, giving them money or giving them these gift cards, and then what they turn around to do is um their husband or their pimp or panhandler comes in a Mercedes Benz or a BMW or one of the S class Mercedes Benz to pick them up, and they take your food, all the stuff you work hard for, and then they sell it on the open market, which is just for me. I don't care how much I make. Like, I don't want to pay for people that are that they're self-sufficient. If you're self-sufficient, why the hell am I paying? And this is what makes me gonna be more colder. I'm gonna be more cold, and I'm not giving ninjas shit. I'm not giving nobody nothing. Cause once I found that out, like from the kindness of my heart, I had things to do, and I went back and spent an extra 20 minutes getting food for her family, and then I find out, oh, they gypsies. They've been playing people around the block, around my area, for a very long time. And I'm like, yo, I just got, and I got credit card bills I gotta pay. That $50 could have went to a credit card bill. That $50 could have been stayed in my, which I charge on my credit card. That could have stayed. And so, that's the thing that pisses me off. I'm not gonna pay for that. And so you got these welfare queens out now saying because of the shutdown, they're gonna start stealing stuff. Like, because they are afforded. They demand to be for their kids to be fed. Like 5 and 6 kids. I ain't feeding your goddamn kids. I don't care how many kids you got. I don't want to feed your damn kids. I'm tired of it. You got the Democrats spending all types of money. They're keeping the government closed because they want to get health care for illegals. I'm not giving. I don't want to deal with that. Shit. I work hard, man. I get up every day at 5 o'clock in the goddamn morning. I drive an hour and 15 to 20 minutes to work, an hour, 15, 20 minutes back. If I got to charge my car, that's going to take like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that to charge my car. And so I'm not dealing with it. I'm not paying for you to sit on your fat ass and on TikTok. Isn't it TikTok paying you? Like, you got all these people on TikTok saying, I gotta start stealing, all this other stuff. Good luck with that, because when you steal in Walmart and you swipe your card, it got all your information on it, where you live at, and everything. So go ahead and do that, so they can pick your ass up and arrest you. And then you gonna have the body cam footage, and then we get to see it on the body cam police cams on YouTube. So go ahead and do it and be my entertainment, because I deserve something for all the money I'm spending on these doggone illegal people and these welfare SNAP benefit queens who don't give you no type of respect anyway. So I'm tired of all that. I'm not dealing with none of that. Get the likes up, man. What's up, Trippy Red? Thank you very much. Thank you so much for. Um, I think you're a member. Thank you for being a member. I would like to have some memberships. $1 or $2 is all I need. That's not even a cup of coffee. $2, one or $2. But again, I haven't been on my top of my game. Okay, so there's that. Get up those likes, man. The other thing is what has happened in Japan. So I know you know Johnny Somali, and you got these idiot influencer YouTubers who go to Japan and they do like F boy shit and they offend the people. You know, he went there playing a bomb, the Hiroshima bomb, and it's quite disrespectful. He went there playing that shit in public, right? He did like the siren, you know, the siren when the bomb was coming and stuff. He did that. Very disrespectful to Japanese culture. I know that, like, if you're gonna do it, at least do it to the culture that is the most racist to you, and that's like the Chinese culture. If you're gonna do something crazy, at least do it to that culture. But he's smart. He ain't gonna do it to He ain't gonna come to China and do that stuff, because if he come to China and do that stuff, what they gonna do to him is they're gonna put him in jail for like 20, 30 years. Chinese don't play. If you do that, you know, you do something like the Nanjing massacre, you do something, some crazy stuff that's insensitive, they will put you in jail for life, for 30 years. They're not going to deport you because they know you got your content. They know, he just came here to get his content, he's going to get deported. He don't care, right? They're going to put you in jail for like 50 years or some stuff, like disturbing the public order. So he knows not to do it in China. He knows not to do that in Russia. Okay, he know not to do that in North Korea. So Johnny Somali is not stupid. He know where to do it. So like, like when he did that stuff in Korea, like I know how Koreans be thinking about black folks. So like, when he started doing that stuff in Korea, that crazy stuff, to be honest, I didn't feel any remorse because Koreans, they just like some of the most racist people I ever met. So and you know, I got battle scars from selling my trying to get my video game money back and him putting hands on me when I was, you know, 16, 17, 18 years old, and I didn't know no better. And this Korean guy putting hands on me, and he got his black minions to do his bidding. You know, so when he did that to them, I didn't really feel like you shouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying like when he did it, I didn't lose sleep over it. Now, when he did that to the Japanese, who, you know, they kind of have a affinity to black folks. You do got racism in Japan, but with all that Japanese black porn out, like there's countless stuff. They must like us some way. you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Like when he did that, I just damn lost a freaking lung, screaming and shouting this up, and like, why you ruining it for black folks that won't go there? Why are you ruining it for us? We already got raped and stuff and all that from the past. Cause you know they remember all the black people that do the crazy stuff to them. They don't remember them white folks doing all that nutso stuff, right? They remember the black folks doing it. They remember. They always remember, because by default they're gonna push you down. Right? By default you are less than. So when you go there, you gotta act right and you gotta be on your p's and q's. That's why I was in China. I know automatically uh, I'm less than. That's what they're gonna see me as, less than these white folks that got going there and committing double the kind of atrocities that I would ever commit. Right? We never did nothing to Chinese, and look how they treat us. Right? So when they did that when he doing that to Japanese who are actually nice to black folks, right? Um, it just destroys our credibility. And these young folks now in Japan, they doing the same thing like the Chinese doing, which is called Banlan or something, Bailan, which is let it rot. I don't know if you know about that. And Tanping. And Tanping is to lie flat. And that just means that they have given up on life pretty much. And they're just like, yo, I can't stand all this pressure. I want to live my life. I don't give a heck what you think. And so you got these people now, these youngins, that they don't got a lot to look forward to. And so when you got black folks there um, giving them an excuse to go ham on you, then you got it. That's what you're gonna get. And then when we go there, we're not looked at in a positive light. And we've been doing it for years. Now, listen, I don't care about no the Caucasians that's doing. I'm just talking about the black folks and how we are not welcome in many countries, right? Because as a black American, you can go to Spain, and when they initially see you, they're gonna think you from Africa or something like that, and they're gonna treat you like crap. And that's not when you say you from America, then you get a little bit of accolades, but you got a lot of these American influencers doing crazy stuff. So when it's American influencers go to other countries and they do crazy stuff, these country people see, oh, that's no these damn daggone Americans doing this crazy crap. We hate Americans, da 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 da, right? But when you black and you American, it's like it's a double whammy. Because when white folks go to these countries, they look at them as American. Okay, yeah, you American, you bad, but you still Caucasian, so you get a little leeway. But when you're black, it's just like it's. I'm not trying to claim victim or anything like that. I'm just telling you that when you're black, you go into these countries and they look at you and they say, "Oh, he's black first, then he's American." See, um, when the white folks go there to these countries, they white and then they whatever country they come from. If you get my drift, when white folks go to different countries, they're considered expats when they migrate or when they immigrate to countries. They consider expats. See, when black folks or dark skinned people go there, they're looked at as what are called migrants. So what's the difference between a migrant? What's the difference between a migrant and an expat? It's a big difference. There's a difference of opinion of how they perceive you. There's a difference of perception, how they look at you. There's a difference of how they're going to treat you. So that's why whenever I went to these countries, no matter what they kind of did to me, I have to stay on my best behavior. I don't care if they was being offensive to me. I just won't go to the next level because it's not about me. It's about the people that come behind me, that look like me, that's coming behind me. You know, so if some person decide they want to disrespect me and do all this other stuff, and I might take it personal and I get pissed off, but then I gotta think about the person that's coming behind me, and that they might get a good Japanese person or a good Chinese person or a good Korean person, um, that's gonna treat them good because I chose to not react. You know, um, instead of reacting off a base instinct, like I'm a victim. I'm he insulted, he assaulted me. I have to react. Nah, man. And if you're gonna react, you do it calmly, right? You do it very calmly. You don't do it like you're the mad black person, right? Or you're the mad black man. That's the trouble. When black folks travel abroad, we consider this super masculine. Uh, they don't want to give you the accolades of being masculine, but they would say like animalistic because masculine is a positive thing. So it's more like, oh, he's an animal. You know what I mean? He's an animal. It's not necessarily, oh yeah, it's masculine, right? What Korean story? Oh, oh yeah, I can tell you about the Korean story. That's real quick. Um, this had to happen when I was 16 or 17, and I didn't have a lot of money. I wasn't making a lot of money. Once a month, making like $100, maybe less than that, right? And I think I had a PlayStation or something. I had a PlayStation or some other type of game. It could have been PlayStation or 3DO. And so I went to buy a game. So the game was $30, right? So the game was $30. The line was long. They didn't try the game. It was a CD, and you know how CDs was back then. So I bought the CD for $30. So I put it in my. I don't know if it was like I said. I don't know if it was a 3DO or if it was. It probably was a PlayStation game. Probably most likely PlayStation game. I think it was double disc or something. Put it in the thing. Didn't work. Put it in my PlayStation console. It didn't work. And this was on Fordham Road. So then that take me. That's like a 20-minute walk. So I put it in. It don't work. I'm trying to make it work. And then sometimes it worked. It like worked like one time. It wasn't pretty much a crappy game. I don't mind it being crappy because I bought it. So if it's crappy, it's just on me, right? But the game was not working. Like you put it in, it's like 30/70, which means 70% is not working. That's not what you're supposed to be selling me for $30. So I go back to Korean guy on Fordham Road, and it's like a game store or something. And I'm like, yo, this game don't work. Um, this is the game that I wanted because I saw the other games that they had, and I didn't want none of those games. They were all crap. This is the one I kind of wanted. I had like $30 to burn, so I was like, yeah, this is the game I wanted. Most of them were you know, wasn't stuff I wanted, but like this game was like, it seems like okay, I'm willing to pay $30 for that. And so I'm like, yo, I want a refund because they might say no refunds, no take back, no whatever. But how about no broken merchandise? What about that? What about your side? So if your side has broken merchandise, I should be able to get my money back, right? And so I was like, yo, this game is broken. It doesn't work. Put it in your machine. They put it in the machine. It don't work. He kept trying it, and then like finally it kind of worked. So it was like the same thing, 70/30. And I'm like, that's not what I paid for. Even though it's used, that's not what I paid for. I paid for a game you put in, and every time you put it in, it works. Because it's $30. The retail value is like $50 or $60. Some guy bought it and decided to sell it to you, and it's scratched up, or something is wrong with it, and it's not working more than 50% of the time. And I'm like, yo, you got to give me my money back. because I don't. And he's like, no, you can pick something else. And I'm like, I don't want anything else. This is and all this other stuff. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in none of this stuff. And so he was like, well, I can't do nothing. I was like, what do you mean you can't do nothing? This is, I paid you money for a game that works. So if you don't got a game that works, give me my money back. And he's like, don't you talk to me like that. And then, I'm looking at the black and Hispanic guy, and I'm like, you gonna do something about this? Like, you think that's a good way to work? You think I'm trying to jack you or cheat you? As much times I come over here, because I used to go over there like at least once or twice a month to either trade a game and I get a game, or give them money and then I buy a game, or give them game, I get store credit, then add money and then get a game. So they was getting money from me, you know, and so I was thinking, yo, you could do me this solid, like it's not even a solid, but do me the solid because you gave me a broken product. And so I'm looking at these guys, they don't want to do nothing. They're like, ugh, I get nothing I can do. And I'm like, that's all I got. I only had $30. I needed to be entertained because a lot of times I need to be entertained because I don't want to go out on the streets. Because when I went out to play in the streets with Aries and them and all that, um, I'm gonna get in trouble, man. I'm gonna start smoking blunts. I'm gonna start drinking. Whenever I went out with them, because they would come out and say, yo, where's Flag at? Yo, tell Flag to come out here. We want to hang out and stuff. So you had girls coming around to see me, like, yeah, come out, come out. You had, my friends coming out because I'm right there from up the block. And so it was just a probability of me getting in trouble. And a lot of times, sometimes, I buy some smoke and then they smoke it up and then they leave. So I was, I have like $20 and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go buy some, a leak leak, leak that's like embalming fluid with marijuana. It's mixed embalming fluid mixed with marijuana. They call it leak back in the days. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some leak for like one leak costs like that's like $20. This one little piece, you know. And so they would smoke with you and then they leave. And I'm like, yo, I'm tired of spending my money on these jokers. Um, and I could be getting in trouble. And I'm going to college at the same time. I'm going to Bronx Community, and I'm like, yo, I gotta stay inside. I gotta find something to do to stay inside. The best thing that happened to me, the best thing like that probably saved my life. It saved me with Final Fantasy VII, the 3 disc Final Fantasy VII, which took me about 40 hours, 40 or 50 hours to beat. That game saved my life because when they was coming, they say, "Yo, where Flag at?" And they'd be like, "Yo, he's busy. He can't come out." And I'll come out and say, "Yeah, I'm not coming out. I got shit to do. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII. Sorry, I gotta go." They say, "Come on, Ren. Why you acting like a bitch ass nigga?" Nah, man. Final Fantasy VII. F all y'all. I'm playing. I'm Cloud, baby. I forgot all the names of the other ones, but Barrett. I'm Barrett. I'm Cloud, yo. I'm the girl with the little bear, yo. So I was like, yo, leave me alone. I'm doing chocobo races and stuff like that. And so it saved my life. Holy crap. Where's my car going? Okay. So, it kind of saved my life. Um, and so, I'm talking to this guy, and I'm like, yo, give me my money. And he don't want to give my money. I'm like, give my damn money. So, just because that's all I can do. I can't physically assault him, but I'm just like, if I can cause a minor disturbance, give him my money. You can't be taking my money. And then he took me and he started pushing me out. Because you know how those Koreans are. Like, if you steal from them, they will physically grab you. Like Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese, they will physically grab you and hold you. They don't care if they think you got a gun. Like that extra $10, they willing to die for that $10 because they don't know if you strapped or not. If you got if you got the blicky inside your pocket or on your waist, they don't care. You know, for them it's like survival. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna die. Don't ever let people tell you that Chinese and Koreans are afraid of you. That's bullshit. That's just racism. They're not afraid of you because they opening up all these wig shops and these other kind of stores right in your doggone neighborhood. They're not afraid of you because they grab a hold of you if you take something from them. So they are not afraid of you. They're trying to teach their children to be afraid of you, right? But when it comes to that mighty dollar, they're not afraid of you. Get them likes up, man. So, oh shit. Hold on. What did I just do? I think I just pressed something. Okay. Yeah. So now, so he just pushed me and grabbed me and did all that stuff and, pushed me out the store. And I said I never go to that place again. That's all. You just don't give me a business. They'll f up. They'll f up $100 a month, $200 a month for like $10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. I had a problem with Chinese that do that. I had a problem with Koreans that do that. They'll f up like a good deal going. That you got a good deal going, and you're spending like $200 a month there, and you got a dispute about $5. They'll mess up $5 for $300 and lose $300 for that. You know, my wife do the same shit. I call it penny wise, pound foolish. They do all this stuff to save pennies on something, and then they spend waste a whole bunch of money on some bullshit. Penny wise, pound foolish. And so, that's how they are. So I was like, all right, then you just lose my money. You won the battle, but you did not win the war. Okay? And I never went to that place again. And I always remembered, um, and I kept it in my mind. This is how Korean men behave. I even had Korean man try to steal my wife one time. He tried to take my wife. He tried to take Jenny. He didn't have a chance. I'm just saying. He was trying. And Jenny was like laughing at this dude's face. This was in New York. Like, oh, you got such a beautiful wife. Oh, he's like, like, yeah, all right. I said, let me see your wife. He always talking about his wife and children. Oh, yeah, my wife. She's very bossy. She's very bossy. She's very bossy. And I'm like, yeah, okay. My wife ain't bossy. Ain't my problem. He couldn't believe I had my wife was Asian and my wife was more beautiful than his wife. And he was Korean. He couldn't believe that shit. You know. But now that you got Japan, the Chinese and ruined Japan because Japan has upped the ante of the business visa because you used to just be able to go there and just start a business and then it goes bust, but you still get a long-term visa and you can move your family there and you get free education and you get free basically you get free healthcare and all that, right? You get like severely reduced healthcare, so you're just paying nothing basically. And the Chinese found that out, and then they started putting that shit on Douyin. Like, oh, you can come to Japan, come to Japan. Like, everything's free. We get on welfare and everything. And so they ruined it for everybody else. So, like, Johnny Somali, the American idiots, like these kind of American kind of influence, influences who are just total freaking retarded. So they ruined it for the rest of everybody else. They ruined it for the rest of everybody else, and Japan is like, yo, we're not gonna take this anymore. I think they had it because of Johnny Somali. That's I think the reason it kind of tipped. It was like it's the thing that tipped everything over. It's Johnny Somali. But I think they was thinking about this a long time because of what the Chinese were just like taking advantage of them, taking advantage of the system. They hate the Japanese but love the Japanese at the same time. So they love staying in Japanese places, but they don't like the Japanese. They hate the Japanese and remind you all the time. But if you offer them a visa, you know, and to live in Japan for the rest of their life, they're gonna do it. They're gonna live in Japan for the rest of their life. But at the same time, they teach you to hate Japan. And we got the same problem in America. How you got these people that stay here that hate America. They're not for who we stand for. They're not the type of people we stand for. And then the other hand, oh yeah, I want to. When you want to, you take ice, and the ice is taking them back. They're crying like, please help me, help me, help me, help. What do you mean help you? Your license plate got a Mexican flag on it. Your license plate got El Salvador or Guatemalan flag on it. Your house, in front of your house or your apartment, you got Guatemalan flag like blowing in the wind, right? You got Mexican flag blowing in the wind. So if you got the Mexican flag like blowing in the wind in front of your house, and you got the Mexican flag in your license plate, and you got a Mexican hat and a Mexican shirt or what have you, and you only eat Mexican food, you don't eat no American food, then why are you crying then? You going back to the place that you love, right? Because that's your place, right? Because you got the flag, you got the license plate, you got all that stuff. So if you got all that stuff, stop displacing black folks, jobs and stuff. That's what I think. Like that's why I want them to go back because of they displacing American jobs, not only black folks, American jobs. They displace truck drivers, Uber drivers. Now you need Uber because so many people losing their jobs. Man, I can't find no job now. I got to keep with this job because like all those people that got fired by the federal government, they all up in the job market. Like my wife want to like find something different. Ain't nothing out there. She can't find nothing because it's like, because all those people that got fired, now they saturated the market, you know. But the federal government needs to be shrunk, so we don't gotta be paying all of this stuff. The good old days of Japan are long gone, long over. The late 2000s was decent for black man, but that's long over. Yeah, it's done now. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, North America is a continent. What did I say? Did I say something not being a continent? Who's crying? Huh? Are you talking to somebody else? Oh, you talking to somebody else. America is not a continent, man. North America is a continent. I've been following you since China Ratchet, the China Ratchet podcast. And you did with Steven. I think that was his name. Oh, Steven. He moved to Japan actually at some point. Cause I think he was married to I remember Steven. We did the I forgot it was called the China Ratchet podcast, but the Culture Bum. Yeah, I remember him, the Culture Bum. And I don't know what he's doing now. Like he pretty much kind of betrayed me, man. Like you know how those when they go find themselves and then they come back to you and it's like you're the cause of why I was disturbed. You're the cause of why I'm this and that. And I'm like, dude, like I didn't come to you. You the one who found me. I didn't find you. And so, you maybe you want to still be friends, and then they act like you're the cause of all their problems. And I'm like, I did nothing to you. I hardly ever knew you. You came to me and I decided to be a friend and I wanted to be a friend for long term, but now you found yourself and now I'm not your friend like you think. So it's like he became this type of guy. He was like, "Yo, I got to take all this bad influences from me," and I was one of the bad influences. And I'm like, "I didn't do anything to you. I didn't change. I stayed the same. I didn't change. I stayed the same." And so, he went to Japan, and last time I heard he went to Japan, and I remember he was in Mongolia, Inner Mongolia, I think. And he saves his money, like he's good at saving and stuff. He was a nice guy. When I met him once, he came just to see me one, and he was a great guy. He was a nice guy, and then all of a sudden just change, just change, and it kind of hurt me badly because I was like, yo, you're the guy type of guy I want to have a lifelong friendship with. But that's what they do, all these expats, they go find themselves. They go on some kind of pilgrimage, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're the bad person. Like you're not the good person. So he went to Japan. He didn't want to talk to me anymore. He didn't want to do the podcast anymore. I didn't do anything to him. I didn't talk bad about him or nothing. Like I thought he was cool, and then he just did that thing to me and kind of hurt me. Um, and so he was married to I think Mongolian girl. I think he divorced her, like they split up or something. Cause first he was in Mongolia, then he went to Nicaragua. He went to do like to teach in Nicaragua. I was like, what the freak you doing in Nicaragua? Like, you serious, son? Like, so he went to Nicaragua without his like wife. So I think I think they've been broke up, like they've been divorced or whatever. I think he just did it as like, oh, this is something I'm gonna try out. Like, I think I'm gonna get married. I don't think he's married to that woman anymore. And then he moved to Japan. I'm pretty sure like he's somewhere else now. Like he's the type of guy that he can't stick with something. He just go this place, that place, and all this stuff. But I liked his podcast. I think his name was Stephen Atay, or Stephen Akay. I really liked him, but he just dropped everything and just like, oh, I'm fuck y'all. And I was like, these people like help build you for what you are, right? How can you just abandon them? And so he did that. That's why I'm glad I'm like home. I don't have to deal with the bullshit of these people abroad that are fake. I just deal with kind of fake Americans is fine with me. And fake Americans is enough. I don't got to deal with fake Canadians or he was from Toledo. Where is you from? Toledo, Ohio. I remember him because I really wanted to be lifelong friends with him. Thank you for loving the stream. If you love the stream so much, donate to the doggone freaking stream. Become a member. He said, for me, 2010 was good for me in Asia, South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Malaysia, China, Hong Kong. Yeah, I'm sure you had a good time, Earl. I need to go to Thailand, Vietnam. I mean, it seems like those are the only places left. Like Japan is done. Like I'm just telling you y'all right now. Like when people ask me what they want to do, don't go to Japan anymore. Japan is done. Like, and it's not them being anti-foreigner. It's like they were good and hospitable, and we ruined it. Like we effed up a good thing. That's what I think this happened. And then China took advantage. Chinese started taking advantage. You had them going over there on the business visa by 20,000 or whatever. Now you got to know Japanese. You got to be fluent if you want the business visa. You got to make like because before now it's like 5 million yen. I don't know how much that is, but before it used to only be like I think it was only like $20,000, and then you can kind of set up the business or whatever. Now it's like real expensive. I don't know if it's. I think 5 million is $20,000. I'm not sure, but um, it's more than $20,000. It's like now it's like $200,000 or something, $250,000. Like you really got to start a business now. Like they got all types of like barriers, and they implemented on the spot. So if you had people that you know was applying like a couple of months before, it's not like I don't know what you call it, retroactive or something. No, it's like the new rule applies to everybody, even if you applied before these new rules took place. You have to uphold the new rules, and so now it's meant for no long term stay for foreigners who are not exceptional. So you got to be exceptional in order to have a long-term visa there now. You cannot just be like a regular person like me or whatever. And I would have to be basically. Thank you, Earl. I really appreciate it. I would have to be a person. Um, like I would have to be a Pulitzer Prize winner in order to be considered exceptional. Like this type of thing. Okay? So it's really hard. You're not gonna be able to live in Japan anymore. It's done. You can live short term, but that's about it. Like, and you got this new lady coming in, and she ain't taking no crap. And I think this Johnny Somali helped um vote for this woman. What he did in Japan was horrible. And people tend to only remember the bad things. And Japanese, they're so very welcoming people. They're very, very welcoming. And we just ruined it. So it's done. You know what I mean? It's done. I still gotta go to Japan. I was only transit in Narita to go and from Shanghai. Yeah, I mean you could still go. Like you can get visa for like a year, 2 years or something. But you're not gonna be able to get staying for like 10 years no more. Unless you're exceptional. And that's what they should have been doing for a while, you know. So they needed foreign. I remember they needed like porn stars. Like, shoot, I wanted to go. I was like, yeah, I could be a porn star. I got a big one. I could work it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, they was like, we need the porn industry needs foreigners. I sometimes I watch that foreign stuff, like the Japanese smut, like the AV, and you got like two or three black guys that are just like consistent and a number one. I'm like, their life must be so lucky. And I'm sure they count for the exceptional people, right? Like my two work in the bed. They got the company gonna vouch for them and everything. Like, just lucky. Very lucky. No real reason to stay in Japan at all, especially not for black men. I say especially not for anybody. I wouldn't say for black men because I think Japanese treat black people well. Okay, you're gonna get this kind of occasional racism, but it's nothing compared to Chinese, I believe. Uh, no, you can't say black man. You can say person or foreigner, I think. The Japanese weren't welcoming to me, but they were hospitable, and some were welcoming and kind, but there was always a coldness in them. But a coldness is that's how Japanese are. They are cold in a sense, like especially men. They're cold, and I think they're cold when you told them you're American because of the history of America, of American military bases. So that's could be the reason why. But I found the Chinese to be friendlier than the Japanese, but Chinese can be more openly hostile. Okay, we can take your word for it. But I'm gonna do this like every day, just on the way back, just talk, or on the way going there, just talk about some topic or something. At least give y'all something. Okay. So this is the flag. I'm out and see you tomorrow. Promise. I promise. See you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Peace. God bless, brother.